Could you survive in a world with no shelter, no fire, and predators lurking around every corner? Let's journey back 4.7 million years to a time when our earliest ancestors faced this reality every single day. This wasn't just a life. It was an unrelenting struggle for survival. Forget everything you know about modern comfort. We're stepping into a world that is raw, untamed, and unforgiving. The Earth back then was a patchwork of vast savannas, dense forests, and life-giving wetlands. But this world was ruled by a volatile climate. Imagine blistering heat giving way to sudden torrential rains. Long, unforgiving droughts would parch the land, turning lush green landscapes into barren dust bowls. For the small, upright hominids known as Australopithecus, every sunrise brought a new set of challenges. They weren't the strongest or the fastest creatures on the savanna. Their survival depended on something else entirely: their wits, their resilience, and each other. To live was to be constantly moving. A typical day for our ancestors began at dawn, not with an alarm clock, but with the gnawing pangs of hunger. The world was their grocery store, but it was a dangerous one. They were foragers, their eyes scanning the landscape for edible plants, fruits, nuts, and roots. Imagine walking barefoot across a savanna, your senses on high alert. Every rustle in the tall grass could be a hidden snake. Every shadow in the distance could be a predator. Finding food was only half the battle. Water was the essence of life, and locating a reliable source was a daily quest. Small groups would follow animal trails to streams or watering holes, but these places were hotspots for danger. This is where crocodiles lay in wait and large predators came to drink. Our ancestors had to be quick, cautious, and incredibly brave, scooping up water and retreating before they became someone else's meal. Did you know that much of their diet likely consisted of tough, fibrous plants that required hours of chewing? This constant effort shaped the very structure of their jaws and teeth. Life was a marathon of foraging, watching, and waiting, all for a single precious meal. So how did these small, vulnerable beings manage to get by? They were surrounded by giants and fearsome hunters. How did they compete? The answer lies in a revolutionary leap forward: the birth of technology. But don't picture computers or smartphones. Their technology was stone. Simple at first, these weren't even intentionally shaped tools. They were rocks, chosen for their sharp edges, used to smash open nuts or break bones for the nutritious marrow inside. Imagine the discovery. One of our ancestors, frustrated and hungry, strikes a bone with a rock, and it cracks open, revealing a rich, fatty food source that was previously inaccessible. This moment, this simple act, was a game changer. It unlocked a new world of calories, fueling brain development and giving them an edge. These first tools were the key to their survival, allowing them to process food more efficiently and extract more energy from their environment. It was the dawn of innovation, born not from curiosity, but from pure, desperate necessity. From these humble beginnings, the path to more complex toolmaking was set, a path that would eventually lead to the masters of stone technology. Before we continue, let's take a moment to appreciate what our ancestors achieved. They weren't just surviving. They were innovating under the most intense pressure imaginable. Their struggles laid the groundwork for everything that came after. Now, let's talk about the constant, ever-present threat that defined their existence: predators. The ancient savanna was a predator's paradise. Imagine being face-to-face with a saber-toothed cat, its massive canines glistening. Or hearing the cackling laugh of a pack of giant hyenas, powerful enough to crush bone with a single bite. These weren't movie monsters. They were the neighbors, and our ancestors were on the menu. Their bipedalism, the ability to walk on two legs, gave them an advantage. It freed their hands for carrying food or tools, and it allowed them to see over the tall grass to spot danger from afar. But they couldn't outrun a big cat. Their safety lay in numbers and in awareness. Living in groups was their best defense. More eyes meant a better chance of spotting a predator before it could strike. They would have used loud calls and intimidating displays to try and scare off threats, a chaotic but coordinated dance of survival. Even a small wound from a thorny bush or a minor fall could be a death sentence. Without modern medicine, infection was a constant risk. Something we take for granted today, like a simple bandage, was a luxury beyond their wildest dreams. Beyond the predators, the environment itself was a relentless foe. Flash floods could sweep away a group in moments. and lightning strikes could spark massive wildfires, forcing them to flee for their lives. Every single day was a new battle against forces far greater than themselves. It's a testament to their incredible resilience that they endured it all. So, what ultimately allowed them to not just survive, but to thrive and evolve? It was their growing social complexity. These early hominids were not solitary wanderers. They lived, traveled, and foraged in small, tight-knit groups. This social bond was their greatest superpower. Cooperation was essential. Imagine a group working together to scare off a predator or sharing the location of a newly discovered fruit tree. This wasn't just instinct. It was the beginning of a shared culture. Communication, though primitive, was key. They wouldn't have had language as we know it, but a complex system of gestures, body language, and vocalizations would have allowed them to convey vital information: danger, food, water. This ability to work together, to share knowledge, and to protect one another was a massive evolutionary advantage. It fostered a sense of community and laid the foundation for the complex social structures that define humanity today. Did you know that the brain size of Australopithecus was only about a third of a modern human-s? Yet with that smaller brain, they managed to navigate an incredibly complex social and physical world. Their cooperation was the invisible tool that was just as important as the stones in their hands. So, from the daily grind of finding food to the terror of evading predators, the life of our ancestors 4.7 million years ago was an epic of survival. Every challenge they overcame, every small innovation they made, was a step on the long journey toward us. Their ability to walk upright, their first use of tools, and most importantly, their reliance on each other. These are not just footnotes in a textbook. They are the legacy written into our very DNA. The struggles of these ancient hominids shape the resilience, ingenuity, and social nature that defines our species. They were the pioneers who walked a dangerous, uncertain path so that one day we could exist. Their story is our story. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey back in time. If you were fascinated by this glimpse into our deep past, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more stories of prehistoric survival. See you next time.